The week, temperatures slowly creeping up, certainly starting to look a lot more like summertime. A live look outside from our Fred Haas Toyota World camera. You can see a mix of sunshine and some puffy cumulus clouds. Actual air temperature already climbing into the 80s in some spot. Angleton and Hobby Airport, 80 degrees, just shy of it here in Houston. This is the start of what's going to be a pretty warm afternoon. As for our dew points, they're in the lower 60s. So actually, it's not too bad. Remember, we did have that cold front pass through on Sunday night, which means it's going to take a while before we really see the humidity rebound. That's why today is not a bad day to get outside, despite the temperatures being a tad toasty. Winds are coming in from the northeast. Dog walking forecast temperatures climbing into the mid-80s by 3 o'clock. Mostly clear skies. All in all, a fabulous day as long as you don't forget the sunscreen. And look what happens as we go through the week. You're going to see temperatures starting to heat up. Wednesday, 88, back to the 90s by Thursday. But I think the reason why it's really going to start to feel like summertime, nothing to do with the afternoon highs. It's all about the morning lows. Brittany, Andy, I've got much more in our full forecast coming up.
All right, Caroline, thank you.
This month of May has really not been too bad to start.
It's felt like a real spring.
Felt like a real spring. I want to show you how pleasant. And a lot of mornings have been in the 50s and the 60s. That is considered below average. So this was what we would call spring. And now we're starting to transition into summer. I think here in Houston, we really feel like summertime once those mornings stop cooling off. And that's exactly what we're heading into. As we get into the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, low temperatures are going to be starting off in the lower and then the mid 70s. Not only are we going to see our morning lows start to increase, but we're also going to see our humidity values really increase as well. Muggy meter today through Thursday. Dew points still going to be lower. That means not quite as humid thanks to that cold front that passed through on Sunday. But once we get into the weekend, Friday, Saturday, you'll start to feel that stickiness returning. By Sunday, that's when it's going to be back to full-fledged Houston mugginess. It's going to be a pretty typical summer feeling day, not just because of the morning lows and the humidity, but of course, Saturday and Sunday. And this looks cooler for the weekend, but the thing is our humidity values are going to be higher. So it's still going to be feeling like the mid and even upper 90s. As for rain chances, we're not tracking any through Sunday. We're not going to see that return until Monday with all of that humidity back in place. And the reason why is a high pressure system. This has been working its way across the West Coast, and it's going to be continuing to work its way east into Houston as we go through the next few days. This is why we're going to be heating up. This is why we're not really seeing the humidity ramp up. But once this high pressure is to our east, that's going to allow the flow from the Gulf. That's going to really increase our humidity as we head into the weekend. And by the way, if you're wondering about the heat, we are expected to stay above average even as we go into the middle because our humidity values aren't too high. A live look outside, you can see a mix of sunshine and cloud cover. Actual air temperature, not too bad, sitting in the lower 80s, certainly on the warm side, but with the lower humidity, we feel like the lower 80s, and that's where it's feeling a little bit better than it could. Winds are pretty calm, if anything, coming in from the northeast around 2 miles per hour. And when we have stagnant winds, ample sunshine, we have to start looking at our air quality because this time of year ozone can really build up right now category. But the National Weather Service has gone ahead and issued an ozone action day for Harris, Galveston and Brazoria counties through the day tomorrow. That means folks who suffer from respiratory problems like asthma may want to consider exercising indoors. Andy, this is really because of that big high pressure system, but I've got much more in our full forecast coming up.
Okay, Carol, you said earlier, it's actually nice and comfortable out there.
We have really been experiencing spring this year in a way that we don't see every year, especially in the mornings. Mornings, in fact, through the month of May, our average temperature so far 2 degrees below average. And look at these. We had several mornings well below average, sitting in the mid 50s. We should be in the upper 60s this time of year. Now, as we head through this week, I think it's going to really start feeling like summertime. primarily because temperatures are going to start to increase. We're talking lower 70s, mid 70s to start as we get towards the weekend. Both Saturday and Sunday, waking up mild, muggy in the mid 70s. And it's not just going to be those temperatures climbing. It's also going to be how it feels outside. The muggy meter by Thursday, you're going to start to feel slightly more sticky as we see our humidity begin to climb. Certainly by Saturday and Sunday, that Houston humidity, that tropical feel, that's going to really start to ramp. Now, Saturday and Sunday, upper 80s, which you might think, hey, a little bit cooler. Here's the problem. The reason why temperatures are going to be cooler is because our humidity is increasing. So even though it says upper 80s, it's actually going to be feeling more like the mid 90s with that humidity coming back in full force. Now, rain chances, we're not tracking any of those until the following Monday, so no problems for any outside plans this weekend. But the reason why we're getting so hot and dry, it's a high pressure system. We're watching it as it moves in from the west. This is going to bring with it the intense heat, but also drying us out. It's not going to be until this high pressure system is well to our east that we'll start to see that flow coming in from the coast, and that's going to increase our humidity as we head into the weekend. As for our temperature outlook, we are expected to stay well above average as we have now spiked into the high category. Yesterday, mold spores were moderate. We expect them to be increasing after we've seen some good rainfall, so not entirely. We've got a mix of sunshine and cloud cover. Air temperature currently sitting in the lower 80s. Car wash forecast tonight. Not a bad night to do it with no rain in the forecast through the weekend. Temperatures dropping through the 70s with lower humidity. Today is the day to do it, but I'll tell you what, you could do it anytime through the rest of the week. It's going to stay dry, but that humidity is going to start creeping in. Our extended forecast is going to show rainfall free. That cold front passed through Sunday night, so even though temperatures are a bit warmer, I think it actually is rather pleasant. A live look outside, we've got a mix of sunshine and cloud cover overhead. Actual air temperature in the lower to mid 80s. 84 here in Houston, 81 down on the island. Winds have been coming in from the northeast, although they're not very strong right now, only about 2 to 5 miles per hour. Because the air is stagnant and because we have plenty of sunshine, we are monitoring our air quality, and the National Weather Service has already gone ahead and issued an ozone action day for Wednesday. Harris, Galveston, and Brazoria counties. It's possible we can see dangerous levels of ozone, which means if you suffer from respiratory problems such as asthma, you may want to consider exercising indoors during the day tomorrow. Air quality right now showing the lowest air quality down near Pearland. The rest of us healthy out there. Our planning forecast tonight looking to be a wonderful evening ahead. Lisa, Joel, I'll have much more on our full forecast coming up.
Look forward to that. Caroline, thank you.
To do it.
So much fun to head down there.
It is lovely out.
No, it really is. And this morning was fabulous.
Awesome.
These mornings
nice.
have been nice. Tomorrow morning, I still think it's going to be nice. Look at how beautiful that in southeast Texas. Low temperatures Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, lower to mid 50s, 53 on last weekend. So we've had the cooler weather. In fact, on average, 2 degrees below average for the month. Unfortunately, it doesn't last forever. In fact, we are getting very close to summertime, and we are going to start really feeling like it, especially as we head through the next few days. Tomorrow morning, still going to be nice. Upper 60s, humidity starting to come back, but still not bad. But as we get towards the weekend, those morning low temperatures not going to be cooling down as efficiently. Saturday and Sunday, waking up in the mid 70s. Not only are we going to be waking up more mild, but we're also going to start to feel incredibly muggy and humid. You'll start to feel that humidity really increasing by the time we get to Friday and Saturday. Certainly by Sunday, it's that typical muggy, tropical Houston feel. As for our high temperatures, well, those are also increasing. You can see 90 by Thursday and Friday. Saturday and Sunday, upper 80s. But let me tell you, because the humidity is going to be higher, it's not going to be feeling any better. In fact, for a lot of us, it's actually going to feel worse. When you factor in that humidity, it'll feel like the mid 90s here in Houston. As we look ahead towards the middle of the month, not just us, but most of the eastern United States expected to be well above average. Right now, the reason why our humidity is low and our temperatures are high is because a high pressure system has been moving in from the west. When it's overhead, this really prevents us from seeing a tremendous amount of cloud cover. And as we go through the next few days, this will eventually settle to our east. That will return the flow from the Gulf, and this is going to allow our humidity to start to rebound. So let's talk about that extended forecast because it certainly is feeling like summertime. You can see morning low temperatures are going to start off back in the 70s. Afternoon every single day, mid to upper 80s. Humidity values haven't quite rebounded from that cold front we saw on Saturday, but it still feels nice out there. A live look outside, a mix of sunshine and cloud cover, just a few puffy cumulus clouds. Otherwise, temperatures sitting in the mid 80s, 81 in Brenham, 82 in Katy, 84 for our friends out in Fort Bend County. Winds have been pretty calm through the day today. In fact, they have been decreasing. Here's the thing we're tracking for the day tomorrow. Because we have sunshine, because we have calm winds, we have to keep a close eye on our air quality. Right now, the most moderate air quality is going to be down in Pearland, but most of us, we are in a more healthy level. Here's the concern, though. Tomorrow, with the sunshine and calm winds, we are going to see the possibility for an unhealthy amount of ozone pollution. Because of this, the National Weather Service has gone ahead and issued an air quality alert for Harris, Galveston, and Brazoria counties for Wednesday. So, Joel, Lisa, this is something folks who suffer from respiratory illnesses will need to pay close attention to.
Okay, Caroline.
Sets are getting later and later. They're now after 8 p.m. By the end of this month, they're at 8:15. It's just like a sign of summer.
Yeah, I like it.
It is.
I love it. I think it's wonderful, and it leads to really lovely days. A live afternoon out at the Houston Zoo and across Houston. We've got plenty of sunshine. Currently, temperatures sitting in the lower to mid 80s, 82 out in Tomball. Winds coming in calm from the northeast. Dew points in the lower 60s. This means it's still comfortable. We're not seeing those high humidity numbers, which is why I think it actually would be a very pleasant night for an evening jog. Temperatures dropping through the 80s into the upper 70s by 7 o'clock. Morning low temperature is going to start to creep up this week. By tomorrow, 68. Get out and enjoy it because by the weekend, temperatures are going to start off in the mid 70s. Not only are we waking up more mild, but our humidity values really going to be climbing by Saturday and Sunday. It's going to start to feel muggy, really feeling like summertime, and our high temperatures, they're going to match upper 80s to 90 degrees.